Let your soul and spirit fly into mystic. Let your soul and spirit fly into mystic. Into mystic. Into mystic. Into mystic.
Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Tricia Cunningham.
Good evening, Suzette.
Well, this evening we have one of our favorite friends back on the show.
We haven't seen him in some time. It's great to have him back.
The past chairman of the board of the Greater Mystic Chamber of
And
Commerce.
a fine job he did.
And he did. And I was just saying to him before we started the show that he really is your next Brad Pitt. So with no further ado, I would like to reintroduce Chris Freeman and welcome back, Chris.
Well, I'd like
Hi,
to say
Chris.
it's nice to be back, but now I'm mortified.
The
Absolutely
next
mortified.
Brad Pitt?
As though this isn't pressure enough, right? No,
Well,
it's a pleasure to be
in
back.
our minds, and I know in his wife's mind.
Well, aren't you so kind? Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. It's been a while.
It has.
My colleague Dan McFadden had taken over for me and has been doing a great job,
doing a
but
great job.
was preoccupied with his day job today, so he sent me along. I hope I will suffice.
Absolutely. And Chris is here to give us some great updates on what's going on over at Mystic Seaports. And
Sure.
they're open 7 days a week now.
Back to our regular
spring,
schedule.
summer
yeah.
hours, it's terrific. And we've seen lots of traffic going across Route 27 to go enjoy the delights at Mystic Seaport. So
It's been a phenomenal spring. This good weather has been a tremendous blessing and a boon to us, certainly. And we're open 7 days a week, 9 to 5, our regular summer hours, and things are in full swing. I don't know if any of you have seen, but the Stonington crew team is back using our museum grounds as a staging area for their rowing and have had some regattas there. That's always very exciting.
Fantastic.
That and the early blooming witch hazel are the two real signs that spring has sprung at Mystic Seaport. Yeah, it's been good.
absolutely. And it's great seeing those rowers on the Mystic River. I love seeing that activity.
Yeah, indeed. And we got a lot of exciting plans for the summer season ahead. In addition to our perennial favorite events like the Antique and Classic Boat Rendezvous, we're having the Wooden Boat Show back again this summer.
My husband's favorite, Chris. And we've
You're,
talked
yeah,
about
we
it.
have. Yep, he's
Several
restoring
times,
a boat
yeah.
that he
Oh,
would
yes.
love to have somebody from the show show an
I
interest
know,
in.
I know. It's great.
Yeah. But the big news, and right on the horizon, opening just this weekend, is a brand new exhibit in our Stillman building up on the 3rd floor. It's an art exhibit, and it's actually an exhibit we're mounting in collaboration with a private art academy called the Dalvero Academy out of New York City. And it's been about 2 years in the making, featuring 25 contemporary artists. Featuring a variety of different media, so pen and ink and etching and watercolor and pastel and oil painting. But they came 2 years ago to the museum because they thought it would be an interesting sort of field experience for their artists to do some plein air painting, drawing, sketching. And we're able to, on that visit, they bumped into Quentin Snedeker, who's the director of our shipyard. They got keenly interested in the restoration of the Charles W. Morgan, the sole surviving whale ship in the world, which is ongoing, as you know, at the museum right now. And so what they decided to do is do a focus solely on the Morgan, its restoration, the shipyard, the tradecraft of the shipwrights, and do images around that. And so what we've got now is, I think, 25 artists and something about 40 or 50 pieces of artwork that are the culmination of 2 years of that work. And it's really unique because it's not pictures, sort of traditional maritime pictures, ship portraits, that sort of thing.
Suzette and I got a sneak peek at some of this artwork, and it is really interesting and very unique. So it's going to be a great treasure for people to cast their eyes upon when it opens up.
And I think really unexpected. If you think you've seen everything Mystic has to offer, you definitely
definitely
want to
haven't
come
seen
see
it.
this show because you haven't seen anything quite like it before. So that's kind of the big thing on the horizon. Of course, our Sea Pass, our joint ticket with Mystic Aquarium, is going to be available, I think, starting the beginning of next month.
Excellent. Good.
So that's always
What a great
been a
savings
perennial
for especially
favorite.
for families as well.
Yes.
Yeah, precisely. And I guess, you know, I could go on and on about the museum, but I did want to just make a quick plug because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, in fact, has a big event coming up right at the beginning of May.
We do. We have our membership drive. So as Chris is one of our board members, he'll be helping us out.
You may be getting a call from me.
Absolutely. So mark May 2nd down on your calendar, and if you're not a member of the Mystic Chamber yet, you might get a phone call from us, and we're hoping that you'll consider coming on board.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to it, and thanks for having me back.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris, welcome back, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Next
It's always
time.
a pleasure
All right,
having
Suzette.
you on board.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, before, Tricia, we get into what's happening in with the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, I just want to let everybody know that we are very proud of our Tricia Cunningham, the president of the Chamber. She was honored last week from the Terry Broder Foundation. As we all well know, that Tricia cut her locks of hair and donated part of the proceeds to the Terry Broder Foundation. So
I did.
it's a great honor, Tricia, and congratulations
Thank
to
you
you.
very
And
much.
We're very
Thank you.
proud of her.
It was a
as
fun
well.
project. It was a fun project. So a couple things that I want to let you know that are happening right in Mystic coming up. Big news, as you might have seen and or heard by now, but Kitchen Little, a longtime favorite right on Route 27 in Mystic, is having a new home. They'll be moving to Mystic River Marina, so we're excited to help her out with her opening, and we're hoping that all the locals will be encouraged to go and visit at her new location over at Mystic River Marina. And another thing, May 5th, it marks the opening of Knowing Community Market, which is
Fantastic.
very
Yeah,
exciting.
very
And this is a
exciting news.
true community
Yes.
event, a community effort to put this market together, and we're really excited about that. Also that same weekend, May 5th and 6th, is a sidewalk sale in downtown Mystic. And just a quick reminder to all of those locals out there, you know, Mystic, the bridge is now open. The bridge construction is done for the season, so there's two-way traffic again, so you can kind of go smooth sailing right through. But there is still construction on Route 1 for streetscape, and during this time period, after a year and a half of streetscape and bridge construction, we really would like to ask locals in the community to please support the local downtown Mystic businesses. Mother's Day is coming up. You probably have end-of-year school little gift things to give to your teachers, things like that, birthdays, anniversaries, all of that, you name it, you can find it in downtown Mystic, and they could really use the extra support right now. So please consider shopping in your downtown as they try to get through the next few months of construction.
Well, another note, Tricia, and I call it the curiosity factor. One thing that when we have this kind of disruption, as you may well know, it brings a curiosity factor. And I think I strolled down there a couple of weeks ago. It was beautiful. It was one of those beautiful days. And as a local, you think you know everything. Well, there's a lot of great stores down there and a lot of great items. And if you just go down there just for the curiosity factor.
Yeah, just take a look and stroll the sidewalks and check in with what stores are in your downtown.
Right, and let them know. Let the owners know and the people that work down there that you are in their corner. And if you didn't purchase something that day, that you would be back.
Yeah, because without your support, they won't
Right.
be there. So we really need the locals to go out and support them. So that's my spiel.
That's it?
I could go on too, just like Chris.
You
But
mean we
know,
want to say that
we
for
have some
another
great,
show?
yeah,
we
have some
do
great
have
guests.
some great guests this evening. So I'm probably going to mess up these last names,
You
but
won't.
it just bear with me. So to my left, Ken Kopchik.
Correct.
Did I say that
Yes,
right?
you did.
You did.
All right,
Perfect.
and then to Tricia's right, Sandy Teff. That's a
you
lot
got it.
easier.
Yes.
Ken, what is your title, first of all?
I'm the administrator at Mystic Healthcare and
Okay.
also one of the partners there with Martin Spriglio.
Okay. All right. And Sandy, you're an RN.
I am an RN case manager.
Okay.
And I work primarily at Green Tree, but I also help with admissions at Mystic Healthcare.
Okay. Okay. So, Mystic Healthcare and Rehabilitation.
Where is that?
It used to be owned by the Whipple family for over 40 years, and it used to be called Mystic Manor.
Right.
Up on the hill on High Street.
475 High Street, up
Right.
on top of the hill.
Great view.
Overlooking,
The
you know,
Mystic
The
River
Mystic
Valley.
River. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Beautiful there.
It
Yeah.
really is. It's beautiful there. So, what are the changes that are happening
Yeah,
over
there's
there?
lots going on. Give us some.
I don't know where to
news.
start.
I
But
know.
anyways, why don't you give us an overview?
Yeah, give us a
You know,
heads up.
I know a lot of the people from the Waterford Mystic area because I was the administrator of Green Tree Manor for 14 years. And from there, we went from almost scratch. We renovated the entire building. And at the time, in
At Green Tree.
at Green Tree, at 1998, there were numerous vacancies, and we did a complete overhaul, reconstruction, new construction there. So recently at Mystic, we made a change because, some of the success stories and experiences at Green Tree, I was hoping to bring to Mystic, and so far it has worked. You'll hear from Sandy later, and Sandy's been a big asset to that, increasing the census, especially her case management and her affiliations with the hospitals in the area.
Now, there's been some changes to the outside of the building. So what kind of changes have you implemented on the outside, and did that carry over to the inside?
That was our phase 1 construction. When we purchased Mystic Healthcare, there was a need for additional parking. So we have 29 new parking spaces in front of the building with a retaining wall, and also the portico, which is huge, probably one of the largest around.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is, the residents are going to be using it now. They have already with this beautiful weather. Then you walk into a new lobby area, very plush. We also put in a new formal dining room with fireplace, and we've had some meetings there already. There's a conference room, and then we started some of the rooms on A wing, the first wing there, where we have 17 private rooms. A lot of the people now that come in for hips and knees would prefer a private room, especially the baby boomers.
So you do have private rooms available and offer rehab facilities for them?
Our next phase is going to be the rehabilitation. We have an area.
First phase first, which is a long-term health.
Well, which we've completed already.
Right, okay, so the next phase.
What we want to do is convert our huge recreation room to the rehabilitation area, and then convert the rehab area to dining room.
Okay, typically how long does a patient stay there? I know it's case by case, but what's the average?
We have several types of patients. We have long-term care patients where that could be truthfully years. Our short-term patients with hips and knees and strokes, anywhere from 10 to 100 days. Medicare, if you know the background of Medicare, if you meet the technical criteria in the medical, their maximum is 100 days. But we also take all different types of managed care contracts.
Okay, so what would be the difference in your facility, Green Tree, and this new facility than any other facility in the local area? What's the biggest difference?
What sets you apart?
Well, I would say several things. It's probably one of the newest. Working with the Spriglios, a lot of money is put back into their operations, which we have done here, and obviously we're not done yet. Right. It's unique that there's an owner-administrator, handling the day-to-day operations. In fact, my business card has my cell number on it. So if a family or a resident are not happy the way things are
they know how to
settled,
get you.
They know how to get me.
That's pretty dangerous, Ken. I've given out my cell phone to a few people, and I wish I could take it back. I'm sure Tricia feels the same way.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you, usually the staff there are able to maintain it.
Right.
But
and
recently,
that's the case, yes.
We had a situation where a younger woman came in with bilateral knee surgery, and she was promised that there was going to be a therapist there on Saturday. And I guess somebody called out, so she called me. So I made several calls, and by 2 o'clock there were 3 physical therapists over her bed.
When Ken makes the call, okay. Well, but that's fantastic.
That
really
must be one of the stories.
Yes.
So it's the customer service that
Right.
might have it, and I'm always available if I'm not there by phone.
We read recently that Mystic Healthcare was cited as one of the best nursing homes in Connecticut for 2012 in U.S. News and World Report, and I'm guessing one of the criteria to be marked as such is customer service. What are some of the other criteria? How did you get to be in this prestigious position?
Mystic Healthcare has received a 5-star status from CMS and also through the State Health Department, and areas there include health inspections, staffing of registered nurses, and then also quality measures. And quality measures, could be, pain management, pressure ulcers, restraints, areas like that.
Wow.
And that's usually calculated through an MDS program, which is constantly, patients are being, reviewed constantly.
Okay. Well, so, Sandy, we're going to move over to you a little bit. So you are the case manager, and what exactly is a case manager?
I follow the patients from the time they come into the building till the time they leave.
Oh.
So I go off to the hospital and I meet with the patients in the hospital, tell them what we have to offer at Green Tree or Mystic, and they come to our building, and from there I follow them with our physiatrist and our rehab team. And then I do the discharge process when they're ready to go home.
Do you have several case managers in each facility?
I'm the only one.
Wow, so you manage each of the patients within each
pretty
facility.
amazing.
That's
I'm the only one in Riders. Riders Health Management.
So glad you could be with us today. That is really
She does have support.
She took the time out. So
that is terrific.
Sandy, somebody comes in. Does the family normally come with the patient? Or,
Yes.
And what are some of the questions that they ask you?
A lot of the questions are, how long is my loved one going to be here? How often they're going to have rehab? Making sure that their pain is managed and things like that. And a lot of the questions are they going to have a safe discharge? Are they going to have a physical therapist at home? We also do outpatient physical therapy. So some of our patients go home, and instead of having the visiting nurses come out, they come to our facility again and get their continued rehab with the same therapist that they had while they were in our building. So it's a good continuity of care.
So it sounds like rehab is a major part of what you do day to day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how is that structured during the week, the month when you work with the staff? If you manage all of these patients, how do you manage the rehab for each of those?
It's a whole team effort, right down from the physical therapist, occupational therapist, speech therapy, our nurse coordinators on the floor, our DNS. Everybody is all in coordination with making sure that these patients are getting exactly what they need while they're in our building. And then, like I said, then it goes on to, we have Dr. Joseph Peters is our physiatrist from L&M, and he comes to our building once a week and he consults with our patients to make sure that they're getting what they need.
So
also.
do all of these, I mean, like you talk about rehabilitation, and do all of these people come together for a weekly meeting? And so in each case is looked at?
Yes,
individually?
absolutely. Everybody
so
is an
all of
individual.
it comprehensively. So
Yep.
if someone had a stroke, they might have some speech issues and also some
Exactly.
coordination issues. But the therapists for both of those will get together to really approach that as a whole body.
Right, as all four
strategy.
disciplines, as nursing, as rehab, with our physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Everybody comes together and coordinates in order to make sure that they're getting exactly what they
That's
need.
really great comprehensive care they're getting at Mystic Healthcare.
Right. I mean, what's your average patient there? I know Ken said baby boomers, but what is the
Average age?
average age of your patients?
Oh, we've had patients that have been in their 30s that have been in car accidents and have come in for rehab all the way up to their 90s and 100 years old. It depends on what their needs are, and then we just take it from there.
Now, how do you make, I mean, you're bringing a loved one there. How do you make somebody really feel comfortable?
I think the best thing to do before you decide whether somebody's going to go to a facility is to tour the facility first.
Okay.
It's very important to come in and meet the staff, meet the physical therapist that's going to be working with your loved one.
Prior to
Yeah.
them.
I love
Okay.
hearing you say that because I don't know if people know that that's necessarily. I think they hear, okay, they have an issue, they go to the hospital, then they get discharged, they get told
Right.
where they're going to go. So are there options for people? They're at the
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
I'm at the hospital. I broke my knee or something, and
Or you
so
had
now I'm
it operated